So today's guide video is on Morus. Morus is a mage hero, but he looks a lot like a marksman just because of his skill too. So he is a very good initiator and has a lot of CC. I will show you his passive later. Let's talk about his skill 1 first. In his skill 1, he summons a wrath at the target position. Wrath is like a tower or turret. It is going to attack anyone who comes within its range. It will attack any random enemy, prioritizing the enemy hero. It will stay there for 5.5 seconds and deal magic damage. You can use this skill to poke the enemies even if they are inside the tower because it's untargetable, but it does not deal damage on the towers. It only targets the enemy heroes, minions, jungle creeps. You can summon 2 Wrath at the same time. It has 1.5 second cooldown in between, but to recharge back your Wrath, it will have 12-second cooldown at all levels. Morus' second skill is that he deals magic damage to nearby enemies, then he gains a small movement speed bonus for 5 seconds, and his next 3 basic attacks are enhanced, which will fire 5 bullets, each dealing magic damage to random enemies in front of him. Now this magic damage which he fires from his bullet is dependent on physical attack as well as magic attack. That's why I have made his build a little bit different. I'll tell you later when I'll talk about the build. In 1v1 this skill will help you a lot, and you can also use this skill to take down towers a lot faster. Your ultra skill is that after 1 second you instantly teleport to the target location. You can use this skill as a blink also to either initiate in the fight or to escape from the enemies. After teleporting to the target location, you deal magic damage and also 0.2 second stun to nearby enemies in every 1 second. This skill will stay active for the next 5 seconds. If you get interrupted or CC'd before teleporting to the target location and even after using the skill, then your skill will get cancelled. So try to use this skill when enemies have used their CC skills, because this skill put a lot of area damage and CC on the enemies, so you need to use this skill successfully, and you can use this skill to directly jump on the enemy's backline. His passive is that whenever you deal ability damage to enemies 4 times, it will deal magic damage on them, and this damage is dependent upon your magic damage as well as the target's max HP. That's why you don't need to buy torture mask on him. Now this skill will also put a 0.5 second silence on them while healing yourself for 4%. And if you deal damage on a non-hero, then the HP regen will be half, though you can only see the marking on the enemy hero, not on the jungle creep or the minions. So for some tips and tricks on Morus, while doing 1v1 against any heroes without minions or any jungle creeps nearby, always prioritize using your skill 2. It is directly going to trigger your passive. Second is use your skill 2 after using ultra skill to get some movement speed boost from the skill 2 so that you can stay closer to the enemies. During team fights, when you are thinking of using your ultimate, don't directly use it. First use your skill 1 and use your wrath, and then use your ultra skill and skill 2, because if there are any melee attackers, they will come closer to you. With that, your skill 1 and your ultra skill will deal damage on them. Now for the skill upgrade preference, max your ultra skill and skill 2, then skill 1. In comparison between skill 1 and skill 2 will reduce the cooldown reduction when you upgrade it, and it also gives you more damage, and also skill 2 will help you to trigger passive a lot faster than skill 1, and skill 2 will be used more with the ultra skill combination. Now for some battle spells recommendation, as a beginner player you can use sprint. It will help you to catch up with the opponents. Like when you use your ultra skill to teleport near the enemies, they will try to escape, so you can use your sprint to stay close to them, or if the situation go worse, you can also use sprint to escape from them. In the same way, the second option can be flash. Flash can also be used in the similar way, but as Morus lacks any blink skill, so flash is also helpful for you to move across walls without using your ultra skill. Now for the advanced player, the best battle spell is weak. Weak is really helpful. When you teleport near the enemies, immediately use it, because it is going to reduce their damage output by 50% for 3 seconds. So it is really helpful, because when you enter the backline of the enemy, like if your tank has not initiated, you are directly jumping on the enemies, you will be staying close to them, so they are going to attack you. So this weak will help you to reduce their damage output. The second recommendation is Disrupt. When you use your Ultra Scale to enter or tower dive on the enemies, you can use Disrupt and can easily kill them under the tower. Now for the best build items, I recommend this build to you. Mostly I customize my build from these items. So first item that I buy is God Eater because it gives me 10% cooldown reduction, and most importantly the lifesteal, which I need because when I alt on the enemy, teleport near them, they are going to target me and I need this lifesteal to have some sustain. The next item I like is Sonic Boots, mainly because it gives me reduced 50% damage reduction and also gives me armor. And if you know, like most of the heroes in the game are physical attack users, that's why these boots are really helpful. But if I see like enemies are having the CC skills, then I sometimes go for resistance boots, but mostly it is Sonic Boots. Next item is Wizard Wand. Now this skill is really helpful as it is going to enhance your basic attack damage when you use any of your skills. After using any skill, your next basic attack will deal an enhanced basic attack. If you combine it with skill 2, it is going to deal a lot damage. Now your mana problem will also be solved with this item, and it also going to give you 8% movement speed, which again is going to help you with your ultra skill. Now my next item is a defense item, that is Thorn's Armor, mainly because it gives me physical defense as well as the 16 physical attack. Now this is really important because your skill 2 damage is also dependent on the physical attacks, so it will also help me to increase the skill 2 damage as well as its unique passive. The damage deflection is really helpful. When you alt on the enemies, they are going to target you and you will reflect that damage. Now my next item is Infinity Staff. You can also buy this item before Thorn's Armor. Like if you think you don't need defense right now, so you can go for this item. This item is also really helpful. It increases your max HP, gives you magic attack, and also its unique passive to slow down the enemies is really helpful. Like when you use your ultra scale, and the combo of God Eater and Infinity Staff is really helpful. You get lifesteal, you also slow down the enemies and deal tons of damage on them. Now the last item that I buy is Oracle's Legacy, as it gives the max magic attack from all the items and it also increases my max health. Now there are some cases where I need the magic penetration. In those cases I buy Void Staff as my last item, and surely in late game I sell my boots and buy the Oracle's Legacy. Now if there are enemies who have a lot of lifesteal, then you can buy the Incubus Fang because it's the anti-lifesteal item in the magic category. It also gives you 5% movement speed, which is again good for your ultra scale. Now there is one more defense item that is really effective on Morus, but buy it when you need dual defense because it gives you physical defense, magic defense, and also 20% cooldown reduction. If you see this whole build, I only have God Eater for 10% cooldown reduction and there is no other item for it. But most important is its unique passive. When a single damage exceeds 10% of the current health, it triggers a frost shock that deals magic damage to nearby enemies and reduce their attack and movement speed by 30% for 2 seconds. As you know, when you use your ultra skill, everyone is going to target you, so you will get your health reduced and trigger its passive. Now building Morus fully damage and fully defense, it depends upon your playstyle, but most importantly it depends upon the build of your teammates. If they have a lot of damage, then it is fine if you are going with 2 defense items, but I would like to use at least 1 defense item, that is Thorn's Armor or maybe the Ice Walker. I need 1 defense item to have some sustain. Now for the partners, you can use Drash. He is just fine to deal poke damage on enemies, but I don't think it is really good on Morus. What you can use is Meowings because her passive is going to help you HP regen of your missing HP, and it also going to give you 50% movement speed for 2 seconds, and you can easily achieve this when you use your ultra skill. And you can also use Kura. I think he is the best one because it coordinates with his ultra skill also. Whenever you use your ultra skill, you will get shield and also damage reduction for 5 seconds. So that's all for this video. Check out my other hero guides and let me know in the comments below which hero guide you want me to make next. Like this video and subscribe to this channel. Also turn on the notification bell as I upload every day. Share this video with your gaming friends. Join my Discord server to meet me and other players. Link is available in the description.